Hello, hello. Okay, all the viewers, we are going to start the Royal Opus tournament in about a minute and a half. So let's gear up. If you haven't join the tournament. So today, I think we are going to see a lot of different variations played in the Royal Opus. It's heavily whenever you prepare Royal Opus, it's a huge theory in all the variations. So let's see today. It's going to be a treat to all our roller players, as you're going to see a lot of variations, and probably there will be some surprises as well, like e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, and f5 variations. So I'm expecting some fireworks early in the opening part. People are going to deviate from the theory and give some surprises to their opponents. So let's see. If you have any queries, you can put in the comment section. If you have any, if you think the video is not clear or the audio is not clear, do put in the comment section. I will take care of that. If you have any Start. The tournament has started. Let's see who all have been assigned opponents and the games have started. Okay, so Ashish is playing against mm, the Real Flash, and e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6, knight c3, bishop c5. So there is a mate threat on f2 now. Knight d3 saves the mate. How should white? How should black continue here? Where should the bishop on c8 go in this line? Should it go on f5 or e6? And probably there is an option of castling both the sides. So queen should be off the board now. Yes. Where does this leave both the players? Yeah. Black has two open files, central files, E and E files, while white has only single open file, that is E file. Bishop on b2 will be slightly awkwardly placed. If bishop cross d3 is played by black, then d3 pawn is going to be a target. Which, yeah, so he has captured the pawn on d, the knight on d3, and now bishop b5, b4 attacking the d3 pawn. So bishop takes bishop and rook takes d3 is a simple pawn up. White should try to counter attack by playing rook e7 and attack the pawns on the 7th rank. That's what white has done. So the c7 pawn is now hanging. Now rook will go on e1 and threatening mate on e8. Rook. So c3 pawn should be saved now. King e2. Rook on e7 is hanging. So after king takes e7, king takes d3. But what if rook takes c3? Yeah. Rook takes b3. Rook takes b3 was, I think, possible. Takes b3. So this is clear winning for black now. 2 pawns up with the rooks on the board. If rooks are exchanged, it will be a cakewalk for black here. Rook e5. Black just should make sure that he doesn't loses his pawns on the queen side, which is the majority. f6 or king e6 can be played here. Okay, so c6 is now under attack. King d7, rook f2, rook e2 can be played probably. 5. So these are typical rook endings, and whenever you are playing rook endings, don't underestimate yourself, even if you are a pawn down. Many players are not used to playing rook and pawn endings, and he commits some mistakes. For example, now white's king is in the mating net. Okay, if the king is on c1 and rook is able to put on c4, yeah, so that's what mating net is being set up by black. King b7 should be played now just to avoid rook a7 check. But black is trying to create that mating net on c5. Rook e4. Rook takes h6. Rook takes h6 was playable actually. It should not have exchange. White should not have exchanged the rooks. This is easy for black now. So game is almost over. Just a formality of getting the queen and checkmating the opponent. So guys, do you enjoy yourself when you're a couple of pawns up and the winning plan is very easy here? So I really enjoy myself when I'm pawn up and it's a simple king and pawn ending. Okay, so let's see. Bhushan 1987 has reached 8 points within 5 minutes. It seems okay. So he has beaten 2 players. He has gone. He seems to be in good form. 1686. Okay. So what happened in the opening in this game? Let's go back and check. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6 is the main line. Bishop a4, bishop c5, castles, knight g7. This is kind of a cozier defense with bishop on c5, pawn b4. Pawn b4, bishop a7, bishop b2, b5, bishop b3, d6, a4, bishop g4, pawn takes, queen e2, queen bishop f3, queen f3, knight g6. f4 is going to be a good outpost for the knight on g6. He will hop on to f4 soon. Okay, that was a good tactic to capture the hanging piece. So this is a miss, guys. So after rook cross a8, f7 pawn is hanging, which is being guarded by the rook. But here, black missed it completely. Black went on to capture the pawn on b4. But after capturing b4, rook cross f8, knight cross f8, queen cross f7, king h8, and queen g8 is a check and mate. So let's go back and check the next game. So Bhushan has taken a break. Okay, giant killer is playing. Let's see what happened in the game. Okay, so knight f6 was played by giant killer against queen by queen. Castles d6, rook e1, bishop e7, c3, castles, bishop c3, 6, bc6, d3. So white is going for the closed system. Here you will see generally players playing d4, but he has gone for the closed system with d3. Now knight should go to f1 and g3, bishop h6. Queen is a bit awkwardly placed on g7 unless the g file, yeah, g file is opened up now. Okay, and white is in time pressure. So we should expect some mistakes from white now if it doesn't play perfectly. Rook takes f3. Okay, queen takes. He is already pieced down, but he has some good amount of pawns on the board. Okay, so white has lost one time. Let's go back and check the next game. Let's see what happens. So e4, e5, knight f3, bishop b, knight f3, knight f6, bishop b5, a6 is the main line, bishop a4, knight f6, knight c3. So in this system, the white is going for knight c3 instead of pawn c3 and d4. Let's see how he handles his center in the later part of the middle game. d3, h6, a3, castles, bishop b7, knight d5, knight takes, pawn takes, knight goes to d4, e5 pawn is left hanging. What if I capture the pawn on e5, knight cross b3? There will be two sets of double pawns disconnected from each other. So better I go for knight cross d4, e cross d4, queen goes to g4. From queen g4 it is attacking the king side as well as the pawn on d4. c5, bishop cross h6. Okay, that's a good threat. Bishop f6, c4, pawn takes, bishop takes, rook c1, queen f6, bishop goes to e3. Yeah, bishop was hanging, so d6, rook d1. So probably he wants to play d4 now. Bishop b7, rook c7, bishop cross a3, pawn to d4, pawn to c4. The bishop on b3 is kind of locked out now, and these pawns are very nice on the queen side. Black has a very nice pawns on queen side. The pawn chain of a6, b5, and c4, they should give black a very good advantage. Now the bishop on a3 is hanging. Can we play bishop b2? Rook will go to king side here. Probably rook g3. Yeah, rook g3. Black should try to get his second rook in the game just to defend first and threat some kind of mate on e1. It was a free bishop. Yeah, it was a free bishop. So queen e6 check is not possible to get any kind of discovery. Queen e4 is not possible. Queen h7, bishop h7, king h7, queen h3 is not possible. Yep, queen d7, threatening the mate on g7. Queen h6 can be played now to save the mate. Just play rook f7 now and defend the g7. Yeah, yep. Bishop takes e6, queen takes e6, and then the rook f8 probably, or queen h5 is also a good move, threatening queen cross d1. This is a back rank, yeah, back rank white is just saved by white. Okay, queen cross d4. Now the bishop should come to the game by playing probably bishop c5, or the b5 pawn is hanging after bishop c5. Queen, yeah, that should exchange the queens. Nope. White is going for the full-fledged meeting attack. So queen b1 check. King g2, and this should be game over now for white. Just play rook e7. Okay, so white has lost on time. Let's go back and check the next game. They have just finished one of the games. 29 players, so that's a good amount of participation today. If you want to participate in our tournaments, you can click on the WhatsApp link given below in the description. We organize tournaments almost every day. You can join these tournaments and you will get all the messages updates of those tournaments in the WhatsApp group. So let's see what happened in this game. So this is the main line again. a6 was played. Bishop cross c6 exchange variation. Okay, interesting. Knight cross e5, queen d4, knight f3, queen cross e4, queen e2, queens are off the board. So when the queens are off the board, generally in the opening, you have to have a very good skill in your endgame. Okay, you should have a good understanding that what endgame is possible after the early exchanges of the queens. You should be prepared for that. If you aren't prepared, so now here for example, okay, I was just thinking about if we can trap the bishop, but that's not possible because of d3 is hanging. We cannot play c3 here. Okay, so knight e4, f5, bishop goes to g5. So white is trying to trade off. Just going back to few moves. So white is trying to trade off two pieces for the rook. So pawn takes, bishop takes, rook, pawn takes f3, interesting. Pawn takes f3, rook takes e2, okay. Bishop h4 and two bishops. Black is actually exchanged down, and both the bishops on b2 and h5 are disoriented. They are not working in sync. Let's quickly go to the ending. What happened in the game? So here probably black lost his cool. He lost one of the pieces, extra pieces, and then white won. Okay, let's go to the next game. Let's join one of the games and try to play one of the games. Let's see if we get a game assigned. Let's try to have a game. Okay, so going back to the first page, these are the leaders of the current game. So Okay, so one game against Shishirao. I have to play the first move. So a6. Let's play knight f6. d3. So this is again a closed system. Bishop e7. Castles. D6. Okay. I'm just trying to play knight a5 line with the c5 move, trying to create some play on the queen side. This is one of the standard variations you will see from the black side. The bishop should go to g4 and pin the knight, as well as the rook should come on d8 now, so that we force queen to come on e2. Rook d8 is forced, so queen e2 is forced now. But what after queen e2? Let's try. What is the threat from white side? c3 is pending. If I play bishop f3, queen f3, queen c2, bishop is hanging, so white has to capture with the pawn. So let me capture the knight, and yes, so the bishop was hanging. Let's try to put pressure on the c5. Bishop goes to b3. Can I capture the bishop? If I capture and play. Yeah, I am going to get entry in the 7th rank if I capture, but the e6 pawn will be hanging. Rook cross a6 is possible. Okay, so let me avoid exchanging on b3 and instead target the h3 pawn, or probably knight c4. Knight c4, bishop c4, queen c4, queen c4, rook c4, knight c3, pawn b4, knight goes to d5, knight takes d5, and d5 is not possible. So knight d2 has to be okay. Looks good. So let me play knight c4. Let's see how we can take it ahead. I am going to be in time pressure. I'm just managing both right now, commentary as well as the thinking process in background. Okay, so what else can, yeah, knight c, that was so let's capture the pawn on b2. The c3 knight is hanging now, so he has to play rook c1, rook a c1. I will bring my knight back to c4 so that there is no discovered attack and my knight is safe. So bishop takes knight, pawn takes knight. If knight d5, then I can capture the knight back with d5 and the pawn. So knight d5 is not possible. Okay, still white is going for knight d5. What's happening over here? Knight cross d5, pawn cross d5, rook cross d5. Is there any tactic that I'm missing here? No, I don't think so. So queen d7, queen d7 is what I'm thinking now. Queen d7, bishop takes knight, pawn takes knight, rook takes knight, rook takes, queen takes. It doesn't work. So I have to move my bishop. Let me move my bishop somewhere, f6. Let me support the e5. So pawn takes. He's going to capture the pawn on b5. I'll capture back. Rook on e1 has to be moved now to create some kind of play. Probably rook e8, ed1 should be played to attack my rook on d5. Okay, bishop d c5, c4, pawn c4. Let me push the pawn now. Queen a7, rook a7 is there. Rook a7, I have to play queen c6. Oh, there is a touch problem on my mobile. Okay, so let's see what happens now. I am in time pressure. I have to play fast. Yeah, back rank is still guarded with the d8 bishop and rook, so rook cross c2 is not possible. The rook d1 should be the threat somehow. I have to play g6 first. G6, create a escape square for my king, and now queen d6, threatening rook d8 check, rook d1 check, rook cross c2 is hanging. I did not see that. Okay, and there is a mate threat now in the back rank, so my c pawn is gone for free. Let me get rid of this back rank mate first. Yes, that's good. Just 5 seconds remaining. I have to put. Okay, that's lost. I did not see rook a6. I did not see rook a6. I did not see rook a6. Okay. So this is what time pressure does. I have to do some pre moves and then somewhere you end up making a mistake. Yep, f7 is hanging. Let me just try to attack f3 pawn. Check. Let me just try giving some checks now. Check, check. Oh, draw. Okay. So lucky escape for me. I got a draw. Let me pause and see games on the top board. Okay, so my Shakti and Bhushan are leading. Sam CKP and my Shakti. Let's see what happened in the opening. Okay, so a6 main line. I'm happy to see the main lines played frequently. So b3, b5, bishop b3, bishop c5, castles, h6, knight c3. So white is going for the closed variation. He is not trying to play c3 and d4 here. So knight d5, castles, queen e2, bishop e6, knight f6, queen f6, c3. So now he is going for c3 and d4 kind of a structure. Pawn takes. So this I don't like the backward pawn on e6. Black always has to keep defending that e6 pawn till the end game. f4 is a nice outpost for black's knight. So yeah, e6 has fallen. There is a threat on. No, there is no threat. Okay, knight g2. Surprising. Knight g2, queen c1. That was a good tactic. What about the pawns? Black is losing too many pawns here. Check. Was g6. Check. King has to go on h7. Don't go on g7. Okay. And white has lost on time. Okay, but it was a good game. So here, this in this game, actually, you saw that backward pawn on e6, which you should always avoid. So that's what it does when you watch the online games and when you watch more games, and especially the games in which the opening you play. Okay, in that case, you come across different plans and different types of weaknesses which can happen. So bishop c5 was played. So the point was that you get used to seeing many different strategies and plans being adopted in the opening that you play. So you should watch as much games as possible, especially from the grandmaster level. Even though sometimes understanding your strategy is a bit difficult from the grandmaster games, but you can still at least watch and try to understand something from that game. Bishop f3, bishop f3, 3. Okay, so it's a difficult situation for white right now. So, so black is a rook up and white has given away the queen. This should be easy winning for Hushan 1987. Okay, so let's go and check another game. Okay, so Narendra is leading now. Let us check what his game. Narendra versus Chessian. Chessian is white and bishop c5 again. So bishop c5 is very I've seen bishop c5 being played now for almost 2 to 3 games in a row. Knight c6, bishop c6. Okay, bishop e6, bishop takes e6, f takes e6, queen h5 check. Was it possible? Queen h5 check, g6, and then queen has to go back. So, okay, knight c3, e5, b3, knight f6, b2, castles, knight e4. Now I'm not sure what the bishop on b2 is going to do. Probably he's going to play f4, f3. So white is playing very passive. Now d6 should be the target for white. D6 pawn is weak and f4 is an outpost, so f4 outpost is guarded by g3 now, so that knight is not placed on f4. So probably rook f6, and rook f6 is a good move because it will guard the d6 square, as well as it will allow the rook on from the a to come on f8 and get to the queen side, king side for the mating attack. Ng3 is the threat now. Knight cross g3 and knight cross f1. So pawn on h2 is pinned. So rook g1 is forced, not forced, but saving the g3 pawn. Rook f6 should have been played. Actually, rook f6 and then rook h6 is c6 is hanging now. c5 should be played. Rook f6 is split. Too late. Queen cross c6. Rook h6. After rook h6, how are you going to save the h2 pawn? Then rook d2 will be played. Then probably knight cross g3 check. Rook cross g3. Queen f1, rook g1, queen f3 would have been winning for black probably. Okay, but black has played rook cross f3, bishop cross e5, the pawn on d6 is pinned. If bishop is captured, then the d8 rook will be captured free by the rook on d1. So black cannot capture the bishop. Yes, that is a good move. Now h2 mate is kind of undefendable unless we have some kind of checks. Queen d5 check is queen d5 check, king h8, bishop cross g7, knight cross g7 seems okay. There is nothing to be nothing to worry about. So king h8, knight, bishop g7 check, knight g7, and there are no further checks for white. So black is winning here. Yep, bishop g7, knight g7, and there are no further checks. So this is what happens when one of the player ignores his defense and goes on for some adventures. That's what white did in this game. He went for the adventures and had to pay heavy price. Let's check. Okay, Narinder is leading. Let's check my Shakti. Okay, Bombay Rocker versus my Shakti. Bombay Rocker is via black. Okay, my Shakti has played bishop to knight f6. Knight f6. After knight f6, let's see what happened in the game. Castles d6, rook e1, bishop e7, c3, a6, bishop a4, bishop d7, b5, bishop b3. Yeah, so c3 d4 is a very common plan if you are playing Royal Lopez, and if you are learning now, if you are a beginner and want to play Royal Lopez, this is the first plan that should be in your mind. And this is the second plan. Knight goes to d2, it goes to f1, and it goes to g3. Bishop g5, knight f1, knight c4, b3, knight b6, knight d2, knight h5. Just trying to think if that bishop on g5 can be trapped. Yes, so king g7, the idea is h6, bishop h3, gf4, gf ef4, queen d4 check, c4. Yep. Black is clear winning now. Piece up. Yep. But black, I think, lost on time. Okay, so let's check the last game of this tournament. It's just 30 seconds remaining. Quickly, let's go to the any game which is in progress. Okay, so Narendra is leading the tournament. a6 again the main line, bishop a4, b5, bishop b3, bishop b7, d3. Okay, c3, bishop e7, bishop g5 with castles, h6, bishop f6. I don't like bishop cross f6. Bishop should have been saved by white, but let's see how white exploits the weakness on f5 square. So this is the common plan. If you are learning Royal Lopez, look at that knight from b1. It has gone to d2, it has gone to f1, and it has gone to g3, and now from g3 it is going to hop on to f5. This is how your knight should be maneuvered if you are playing royal quiz, or even in some of the Italian game variations you will find a similar maneuvering of the knight. Okay, the tournament is over, but let's finish this game. Rook a c1 just to pin the bishop so that the e1 rook is not hanging. Now the e1 rook is still not hanging. Can we play knight cross h6? Is it possible? Knight h6, g h6, queen h6. Rook e3 is going to help support knight h6. After knight h6, rook g6, knight e5, knight e5, and rook g3. Yep. Oh, queen g3 f6. There is no mate on g7. Rook cross c3. Yes, and now there is a mate on g7. So it's a miss from black side. You should not overlook your defenses. And that concludes our tournament for today. So a very good tournament. Lot of players, 33 players participated in today's tournament. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this tournament, and all the players who haven't played but or haven't played online tournaments on chess, but they have to play, they want to make them. You are suggesting from this supposition, I will go back and check the video. Thanks for participating, Omkar. Bye bye, good night, take care.